Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Witching Hour, issue number 1. Essentially a one-shot, but it's going to lead into a whole bunch of other stuff. I'll get into that in a moment. It's basically Wonder Woman and Justice League Dark combined. So, anyway, let's talk about who actually wrote this book, and then we'll get into the book itself. The Witching Hour, Part 1. This is going to be a weekly series, mind you. The writer is James Tynion IV. Jesus Marino is the artist. Romulo Fierro Jr. is on colors. Dave Sharp is on letters. Marino and Fierro Jr. did the cover, and there's another cover by Ricardo Federici. Ricardo Federici. So, yeah. What is this? Yeah, Superman's in this. And of course, Wonder Woman, created by William Moulton Marston. And apparently just the writer gets credit on that one. No artist. So anyway, this was a fun book, man. I dug this. We get a reminder of how Wonder Woman was touched by Hecate, the triple goddess of magic. This is an interesting story, but it also goes further. The witches of the coven actually go before Hippolyta, and they realize that she was playing coy so that her daughter could sleep better, so that Diana, Wonder Woman, could sleep better. But at the end of the day, she's like, oh no, you're going to tell me or I'm going to kill you. But then Hecate appears behind her. Oh, was not expecting that. So she gets bewitched. That was pretty interesting. Hey, does anybody notice that the symbol that is on Wonder Woman's head, it kind of reminds me just a little bit of the Enchantress. Wouldn't that be interesting if this was a way for DC to bring the Enchantress back? I know that it's just a little bit different, but yeah, it's not that darn different. You could tell that there was some influence there. So I would really like to see them bring her back for this. I like that the Upside Down Man appeared, not really appeared, but an image of him appeared in the magical rune that was traced by Zatanna. Zatanna didn't appear in this, he's still dead. But that was pretty cool. And Flash, like, dude, I'm not going to sleep for another week after this. Hawkgirl standing up for Dr. Fate was pretty interesting. I like that. I'm glad that some background was used here. So Wonder Woman basically stands before the rest of the Justice League, and she's going to explain everything except for how the Upside Down Man was defeated. She was able to pull that magic out of thin air because hiding under her tiara is this mark, this brand. That's a huge part of the aspect of Hecate. So she's able to use this power. I think the sigil that John Constantine had cast in the previous Justice League Dark issue number 3, I'm pretty sure that helped a lot too, which he wound up having a Magneto versus Wolverine moment where the demon blood was pulled out of his body as opposed to the adamantium from his bones. That was that comparison was immediate. I also liked this scene right here, where Batman, I think it was Batman who asked, oh no, Superman asked, what happened? How'd you defeat him? And she's like, and then she realized that her hand was on the perfect. So she pulled her hand off of the lasso of truth, and then she explained, oh, we just got lucky. We can't count on that again. That was good. That was good. I like that imagery that was used where she just took her hand off of. It's a tell that it's funny. I'm actually kind of bothered that Batman didn't notice that. You know, Superman maybe, but Batman undeniably should have noticed that. All right, I'm not a huge fan of the Batman going into space and fighting on Cthulhu and all that stuff. I'm not a fan of that at all, but Batman noticing stuff, dude, like that's his superpower. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I think that he should have definitely noticed that. Maybe later it'll be revealed that he did notice, but either way, I like that Hecate appeared and whispered to all of them and cast the magic on them and let them know, hey, you're not going to pay attention to this, you're not going to remember that happened, and later on when they all get attacked, you ain't going to know that Detective Chimp is calling you. That was cool. There was a lot of stuff that happened in here, a whole lot. And seeing some of like Witchfire in here was actually pretty interesting. But it's funny, we're getting a lot from these characters. But seeing Hecate pulling the magic out of these characters is pretty cool to me. The backup plan that Detective Chimp had. Okay, you don't... DC, you're not James Tinney IV. You're not allowed to make me like Detective Chimp, okay? Just no, that's unacceptable. I'm not feeling it. Anyway, but unfortunately it's working. Okay, this issue will be continued next week in Wonder Woman issue number 56. So like I said, this is going to be a weekly series that is coming out. Every week something new is going to pop up. And I did see something that said where all the books are going to pop up. I don't remember what it is now, but between 2 issues of Wonder Woman and 2 issues of Justice League Dark, I believe, or at least one of them, and then a final issue. That's how this story's the Witching Hour is going to pop out. This is a happening book. I am definitely digging how all of this is being presented. The art is just, it's not even fair on us, all right? The art is not even fair on us. All these Justice League Dark issues, this Witching Hour, all the it's just not fair, all right? It's a cheap, dirty trick by DC to make us love the comic book even more. Isn't it enough you got freaking James Tinney IV on this book? Seriously, man, you just like let's give all the love and all the feels from the DC audience, man, and we're just like, okay, here. You know what I'm saying? Take our money, take our respect, take our self-respect, take our love, just take it all. And we're just giving it freely with a smile on our face. And DC's like, you can keep the smile, but the shirts on your back are next. And we're already in the process of taking them all off because, dude, this is an amazing book. I'm digging this. I love this story. Only 3 issues into Justice League Dark, and they've already got this, weekly story that they're going to pull out. Dude, Tinney IV is not clowning around, man. And I know that he's an amazing writer, but again, all the time I mention this, a big problem that I have with DC is they don't let stories breathe. And that's important to me. That a story is not just, oh, here's another story and another one and another one. Hey, let's just do 2 arcs at the same time. You can take it. And no, I can't. I like to be able to read my story, put it down for a second, think about it, and be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I'll happily read a story a second time. I'll give a comic book a second read just so I can see if there's anything I missed, if it's a particularly good story. But reading a book multiple times, but it's still coming out just boom, 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 fast, fast, and they're shortening the story. I'm not going to sit there with my little Orphan Annie spyglass and my detector and, decoder and try and solve mysteries inside of a book. I just want a great story told, and I want it to be able to, keyword here, breathe. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just let it out. All right, I'm practicing my DDP yoga right here. I'm going to go and do a downward dog, an upward dog, and a tree pose and salute the sun. Anyway, I'm going to leave now. This was a really good book. I'm digging this, and I can't wait to see Wonder Woman. I've been reading the Wonder Woman comic books anyway, so I'm glad to see that a book I'm already reading, and there goes the story. Because, man, I would have hated to be reading Wonder Woman, so I actually got lucky on this one. I'd have hated to be reading Wonder Woman, and all of a sudden this pops up. I'm like, what the frick is going on here? So I'm interested to see if it can be a standalone or not. Because next issue, coming up this Wednesday, and then the following, like 2 weeks later, the following Wonder Woman story. Yeah, interesting. But all of this ends on Halloween, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Definitely enjoyable, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.